But first, let's define technology.
Technology refers to the practical application of scientific knowledge for a purpose. Technology enhances the usefulness of goods and services in a safe manner. It aims at creating value. Technology helps us make work easier. It can help us in many ways possible. But, like most things, technology also has its drawbacks. In fact, some of the more recent inventions are now being categorized as lazy aids, and are considered major contributors of obesity and a generally unhealthy population.
Now let's proceed to technology's advantages and disadvantages. Advantages. Comfort. Technology had made human life comfortable. Everything that we see and use in our daily life is the gift of technology, from the clothes we wear, the house we live, the car we travel, the bridge and flyovers, the mobile phone we carry, etc. are all examples of successful implementation of technology. Education. Virtual classes are delivered at many schools. E-learning is a relatively new concept. Students make use of internet technology to download important study materials in the form of text, audio and videos. Now let's get into the disadvantages. Pollution. Too much use of technology has resulted in an increase in waste products into the environment. This has caused pollution. The discharge of industrial wastes into the environment diminishes the quality of soil, water, air, etc. Example: the vehicle emission is among major causes of air pollution. Effect on health. Thought various technologies have made our life comfortable, they have come at the cost of our health. The impure air and water is hazardous to human health. Excessive use of smartphones causes stress and posture-related health issues.
Technology has beyond doubt eased the life of human beings. It has proved to be a great boon in the development process of culture and society. However, too much of anything is bad. Technology should be used with due care and caution, only for the purpose that are of benefit for humanity. Now that ends our video. Hope you understood the topic and enjoyed watching it. Goodbye.
Okay, Ahmed. I want to ask you a question. Ahmed, in your opinion, what are the disadvantages of technology?
It can make pollution.
Yeah.
And it can destroy the health.
So what is the bad effect of pollution on our environment and on our health?
It will pollute the air, and the air. When we will breathe, we will.
Yeah. So it have a bad like, if we say it has a bad effects on our health, right?
Yes.
Thanks. Muhammad Sultan, what are advantages of technology in our life? I'm talking about advantages, the good things for technology for us. Can you remember? All right. Danny, what are the advantages of technology?
Advantages, okay, so this might be a lot.
You can mention anything in your mind, even if they are different from what you listen to this video.
Okay, basically it makes our lives more easier. So it makes our lives more easier. It makes it like more easier to, like, for example, like inventions, like for example the translator. It's an invention where you can translate someone. So like For example, someone speaks Japan,
Mm-hmm.
and you speak Arabic or English, just whatever, and you have like a translator on you. So you can actually translate what they're saying.
Yeah.
It'll take the words from their mouth and then it will like translate them to like your language. You set it on what language you are on, and then you have to put the language that's the person's speaking in, and then the person talks into it,
Yeah.
and
Really
translates
great. So another
language.
question, can we save time by using technology?
Uh, like yes, because like for the invention of the industrial age, it changed our lives for the like way better. For example, but like there are some disadvantages, but we're not talking about that right now. Anyways, the industrial age is like there's like now conveyors,
Mm-hmm.
and now we can actually make products easier. For example, plastic. We can the industrial age. We can make like something that will make the plastic or like that makes plastic with materials.
Okay.
For example, gathering materials. We can make it like automatic, but it'll take a while because we're needing to get the materials and then put them somewhere. And then for example, we got the chest, like one there and one there. We put different materials, but they have to be the same type of material.
Okay.
And
Okay,
then
Danny.
like it goes down to make plastic.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this ideal answer. Thank you very much, Danny. Okay. Um, Faisal, can you give me more advantage or about the technology in our life?
Like, uh, like
Anything in your mind?
about technology.
Yeah. I'm talking now about the good thing about technology. What is the good thing about technology? We say that we can save our time
Yeah, we can
if you
save
listen.
more time.
Yeah. What else?
Um, it can make
Make
things
our
easier.
our life easier.
Yeah,
Hmm?
and maybe we can have more fun with it, like the TV.
More fun, right? Very,
Yeah.
very nice answer. Okay. Thank you, Faisal. Okay. This is like a quick revision on this lesson. Okay. Let's jump to another one.
Group members.
Let's see another topic here, which is how do plants reproduce? Here we go.
All living things have a limited lifespan and die sooner or later. So, they produce young ones like themselves during their lifetime so that their species may not die out. This process is called reproduction. Plants reproduce in a number of ways. First, most plants reproduce by seeds. That means that most plants grow from seeds. The seeds grow into seedlings, and seedlings grow into new plants. Second, some plants multiply with the help of their roots, stems, and leaves. Such plants can grow without producing seeds. New plants can grow from pieces of the stem. These pieces are known as stem cuttings and have buds on them. Each bud grows into a new plant. Examples of such plants are potato, sugarcane, rose, and ginger. A cutting of sugarcane plant growing into a new plant. Producing new plants from old. Break off an ear of the prickly Opuntia and plant it in some sandy soil. It will get roots and grow. Remember, do not give it too much water. Tiger lilies have dark little bulbils at the base of their leaves. Remove
Monster Math presents. Our topic for today is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Let us learn about the male and female reproductive parts of flowering plants. Stamen is the male reproductive part of the flower. It consists of the anther and the filament. The anther produces pollen grains. Each matured pollen grain contains a tube cell consisting of a tube nucleus. And two male gametes. Carpel is the female reproductive part of the flower. The top part of the carpel is called the stigma. Stigma is supported by the style. Base part of the carpel is the ovary. Ovary contains one or more ovules. Each ovule has a female gamete. Flowers that contain both male and female reproductive parts are called bisexual flowers. Hibiscus and rose are some examples of bisexual flowers. Flowers that contain either male or female reproductive parts are called unisexual flowers. Papaya and watermelon are some examples of unisexual flowers. For fertilization to take place, pollen grains need to be transferred from the stamen to the stigma.
Talal,
What, mister?
you say yes, mister. Don't say what.
Yes, mister.
Talal, I'm talking about pollen. It should move from what part to what part in the same flower? From male to female or the opposite, from female to male?
How it change?
I'm talking about pollen. Do you remember pollination? What is pollination? You can't remember?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to study the sheet again, okay? Muhammad Tarbush, do you remember pollination?
What?
Pollination.
No.
Why? You didn't study the sheet, right?
Yeah.
Why, Muhammad?
Because I don't know. There is sheet.
We studied yesterday and sent it to WhatsApp group. So Muhammad, please revise it by writing, okay?
Okay.
Satan?
Yes.
What is pollination? Do you remember?
No.
Abdulaziz?
Yes, teacher.
What is pollination? Do you have the hard copy of the science sheet?
No, my mom did not tell me about it. No.
Suleiman?
Yes.
What is pollination?
Pollination?
Yeah.
When the pollen gets transferred from the female part to the male part. Not to the male, from the male to the female.
Right. Thank you, Suleiman. Thank you very much. So look at this picture. Pollen grain from this part of its male part to stigma at the female part.
The transfer of pollen grains takes place in the same flower, then it is called self-pollination. If the transfer of pollen grains takes place from one flower to another, then it is called cross-pollination.
Yusuf?
Yes, Mr. Mahmoud.
Yeah, Yusuf, could you please tell me what is germination?
Germination? It's the process of a seed of a seed sprouting.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This transfer of pollen grains is done by wind, water, insects, or animals.
So this question for Ahmed. Ahmed, I'm talking now about pollen. How can they transfer from the male part of a plant to the female part?
Mister,
Yes.
I accidentally pressed stay muted, but I pressed unmute.
No
For some
problem.
reason it worked.
Okay. Can you answer my question?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, what is the question?
I'm gonna ask you here. How could the pollen transfer from the male part to female part of the plant? By what?
Because by the pollination.
How this operation take place?
Because when the male part gets the nutrients, it
Can you listen again to this part, please, Ahmed?
Yeah.
This transfer of pollen grains is done by wind, water, insects, or animals.
Huh? So this transfer of pollen grains is done by what?
Wind, water, insects, and animals.
Yeah, this is my question.
After the pollen grain lands on the stigma, the tube cell produces a pollen tube through the style into the ovule. The male gametes travel along with the tube nucleus through the pollen tube. After they reach the ovule, one of the male gametes fuses with the female gamete, leading to fertilization. Fertilization leads to the formation of zygote. The other male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei to eventually form endosperm. The zygote divides multiple times to form an embryo within the ovule.
Manaf?
Yes, Mr.
Manaf, I'm talking now about sperm. What is a sperm? If I ask you what is sperm, you have to say sperm is the sexual cells of male part. Okay?
Mister, can I go to the bathroom?
Okay. Okay. Taha? Taha?
Yeah.
What is sperms again?
Sperm is like
sexual cells of the male part.
sexual. Yeah.
And what is sexual cells for the female part? It's called eggs.
Yeah, eggs.
So in this operation, the sperms from the male part join with the eggs from the female part to make something called embryo. Okay.
Yeah.
Walif, are you there?
The endosperm provides nourishment to the embryo. Eventually, the ovule develops and turns into a seed.
Okay, guys, it's enough today for science. Now I'll open something like a song for the multiplication table. You have to keep it in your mind. It will be very helpful for you in the math exam. So just listen to this part of the multiplication table. Now forget about science. Just focus on this song for the multiplication table. To keep it in your mind.
Thank you, thank you. No, please, no, hold your applause. Today we're going to learn how to multiply by 1. It's super easy. I'm serious. Are you ready? Let's go.
I got a really simple trick to keep inside your brain. Whatever you multiply by 1 will always stay the same. I've got a really simple trick to keep inside your brain. Whatever you multiply by 1 will always stay the same.
Wait, what? You mean to tell me that whatever you multiply by 1 stays exactly the same?
That's right.
Are you serious?
Yes, it really is that simple. Tell you what, let me show you. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 7 is 7. Now take a wild guess what 1 times 8 is.
8.
1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 10 is 10. 1 times 11 is 11. And guess what 1 times 12 is?
12. I've got a really simple trick to keep inside your brain. Whatever you multiply by 1 will always stay the same. I've got a really simple trick to keep inside your brain. Whatever you multiply by 1 will always stay the same.
Attention all students. You are now learning the easiest math you'll ever do in your life. Really, whatever you multiply by 1 stays the same. But come on, let's try it out. What's 1 times 100?
100.
What's 1 times 500?
500.
What's 1 times 1,350?
1,350.
What's 1 times 5,000?
5,000.
What's 1 times 10,000?
10,000.
What's 1 times
10,000.
374,533?
1,374,533. Be sure you get the point by now. I got a really simple trick to keep inside your brain. Whatever you multiply by 1 will always stay the same. I've got a really simple trick to keep inside your brain. Whatever you multiply by 1 will always stay the same.
Whatever you multiply by 1 will always stay the same.
What is 3 plus 4? Check your answer here.
Get ready, class, for your 2 times table. Multiply by 2, we know you're able. Get ready, class, for your 2 times table. Multiply by 2, we know you're able. Let's go!
I know that table 2 is very easy. So let's open table, let's start with table 6. I think it will be very helpful for you.
Easy to do, there's no tricks. You're gonna learn it yourself in just a bit.
So let's multiply by 6. Here we go.
6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 7 is 42. And 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 9 is 54. And 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 11 is 66. And 6 times 12 is 72.
All right, kids, that was great. Now we're going to turn the numbers around, starting with 1 times 6 and go up to 12. You ready? You can do it.
Abdul Mohsen.
Yes.
What is 6 times 7?
63.
Again, what's 6 times 7?
42.
42. Right.
1 times 6 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 6 is 18. 4 times
my computer is shutting down by itself a lot.
Why?
I don't know. It says your PC ran into a problem and I didn't watch the full video for the sign.
Okay, so you have to fix this problem for the exam today. Okay, yes, Mu'taz?
Can I like give me
What is 6 times 8?
6 times 8 equals 48.
What is 6 times 11?
6 times 11 equals 66.
What is 6 times 12?
6 times 12 equals 72.
What is 6 times 500?
6 times 500, oh, 3,000.
Right. What is 6 times 1,300?
6 times 3,000.
1,300. 1,300.
I don't know.
Take your time. Just 1 minute. 6 times 1,300. Make 6 times 300 first, then 6 times 1,000.
6 times 1,000 equals 6,000.
That's right. Then 6 times 300.
6 times 300. 6 times 300 equals 180.
You mean 1,800.
1,800.
So you have to add 1,800 plus 6,000, the first one.
1,800 plus 6,000.
Yeah.
Equals 4,000.
Again, take your time. 6,000 plus 1,300.
3,800.
7,800. Thanks.
6 is 24. 5 times 6 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36. 7 times 6 is 42. And 8 times 6 is 48. 9 times 6 is 54. And 10 times 6 is 60. 11 times 6 is 66. And 12 times 6 is 72. Now you know your 6 times table. Now you know your 6 times table. Now you know your 6 times table.
Okay.
Are you ready for today's lesson? We're gonna learn how to multiply by 7. Are you ready for today's lesson? So let's start multiplying by 7. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. And 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. And 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. And 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 9 is 63. And 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 11 is 70.
What is 7 multiplied by 12 again?
7 multiplied by 12 equals 84.
Thank you very much.
7 and 7 times 12 is 84.
Great job, guys. Okay, we're going to switch the multiples around. Start with 1 times 7 and go up to 12 times 7. You ready? Let's do it.
1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 7 is 14. 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 7 is 28. 5 times 7 is 35. 6 times 7 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. 8 times 7 is 56. 9 times 7 is 63. And 10 times 7 is 70. 11 times 7 is 77. And 12 times 7 is 84. 7 times table is really cool. If you learn this stuff, you'll do better in school. And 7 times table is really cool. So learn this stuff to do better in school. Oh yeah. If you want to multiply by 8, here's a cool little song to help you get it straight. The 8 times table, something you should know. Multiply with us. Are you ready? Let's go.
8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40.
Okay, thank you very much for listening, and I hope for you all to get the full mark. So please revise the multiplication table before the exam. It will be very, very important for us. Thank you for this time, and see you later. If you have any questions, please send me a message to my WhatsApp number.